How's it going, YouTube? We're back once again with another game on the channel. This time I'm going to be playing some Ragnaloardmon on the right, and we are going to be seeing some red hybrid on the left. The first game, definitely a very bricky one on the side of red hybrid, but as you can see, same can be said for Ragnaloardmon. A bunch of those megas all showing up at the same time, but at the very least, megas does include the Ragnalords, so able to pick up 2 off of the Ludomon. And we do draw into the pieces we need to go up the chain into Raiji. Answer straight back, and we're going to play a Digimon off that. This, I think, was the first game after being made for the deck profile, which obviously has come out by the time this has hit the channel. Digivolution for 5, certainly not ideal, passes the turn right back, but the Ancient Greymon should be swinging for 2 checks every turn. Blocker on the Bryway Ludramon, so don't exactly want to be blocking with that, as we will lose it, and it's a decent stack. Getting back the memory off the Sakutomon for the choke. And he is just going to pass it straight back, doesn't choose to swing. Wise decision, and in fairness, did see that the Ragnalord was in hand thanks to the scoop. We're going to see the starter deck Ludamon being built up in the back. We're certainly 4 wide, so could just start swinging, but instead just going to start building up the board for pieces. Both X Antibody is going to be going to the bottom of the deck, which is certainly unfortunate. He does have 2 memory here, so we could see him swing and go for the Warp Digivolve. Instead, just going to swing with the normal one and go for that check. Should have been 2 checks, but we didn't account for the Aldemon hybrid giving the +1. Gaia Force 0 actually going to come in and just nuke the blocker Bryway. Probably could have just swung with the Agunimon, or if you wanted to make sure that the block wasn't going to come through, could have played that card first. The Gaia Force 0 does let a card with Greymon and its name swing, which would have allowed him to swing out security and get the delete off, and get a little bit more value out of that 8 cost. Instead, just building up at the back, Supermon brings the Ludomon, going to gain the memory back, and then we're going to play the Raiji off of the Ludomon going into the stack. We now have blocker on our Bryway again, and with 3 memory, thanks to the Sakutomon, we can get searching. Once again, we're going to find a Legend Arms that can't go underneath, so it is just that 1 check, bringing out the tie. I'm going to swing again, second tie, swing again, this time a Agunimon. We're keeping the Ludomon just so we can try and maybe go over it and maybe get blocker. Ludamon going to go under, give it blocker instead. Top decks the Baihumon, which will go straight into hand. So we're sitting on 3 memory with the tie. If he can go a big enough stack, that's going to be multiple checks coming in. But really just the memory gain. Aldemon going to come down for 3. And we are going to see Ancient Greymon swing. This time we realize it's for 2 checks, and the other one should have been 2 checks. So a very delayed second check for the Tia Ludamon, and then it is going to swing for 2 as it should this time. And it's going to be Legend Arms Alliance and Ludamon. Although the Aldemon should have stopped the Legend Arms from actually playing its security effect, so it should have just gone straight to trash. The Spartamon would have stayed in trash. And just builds up the Agunimon in the back. I'm going to see off of the swing, get that Super Egomon, which obviously if the Spartamon hadn't de-digivolved, there'd be nothing to delete, but the 2 checks is the main thing. Analog Youth scoops up an Agunimon. And the second check is a Flamon, and we are going to see the 3rd one come in. So, a little bit clunky at the end there, forgetting the inheritables. But 1-0 in favor of Ragnalord, and this time I'm going to be hoping to not brick. Spartamon passes over for 1, so I can't really build up too much, but it just does mean that the turn is going to be coming straight back to me. Agunimon in raising. And The question is whether we play it safe or not. Zubamon, Zuba Eagomon is out. 4k, no effects. Naguni in response. Just going to go back up the chain and pass it back. Sakutomon. We're going to see Ludamon in the back. So now we do have a black and red source. So Legend Armor Alliance is online. Going to pass over for 1. And it's the EX Antibody going into hand. So don't gain the memory back. Would have been able to keep turn and go up the chain instead. We pass it back over. Emperor Greymon comes out for 4 when Digivolving will have Blitz. And there's no real point blocking this one, just going to let it through. If it gets blocked, it's going to restand and gain a bunch of memory back, so instead we'll just start searching for pieces. Gonna take the the Raiji Ludamon, as we do have that top end already, and we just want to get up to our level 5, keep it safe. Analog Youth. Gonna take the Pokemon and then trash the Takuya. And he still does have the 1 memory, so we could see the Pokemon just come straight down. Okay, Atomic Inferno. Gonna gain 3 memory when blocked, so that is definitely not getting blocked. It's gonna be 2 checks, and this time remembering that inheritable to make sure that nothing activates in security. Just blows straight through that. And the Pokemon checks for 5, is gonna pick up 1 Tamer, which is the Analog Youth, and he does pick up the Ancient Greymon as well. Sakutomon in the back once again with the Tia Ludamon going over, trying to get as many blocker stacks as possible. Gonna hit into an Ancient Greymon first check, but weren't expecting that to live anyway. Tia Ludamon. And the question is, do we swing or not? Searching for the pieces of the Spidermon inheritable would be great, and if we can just play a Tia Ludamon raw after that, then we might be able to get the reboot restand. Gonna get the 3k pop thanks to the Super Eagomon inherit. We did find some pieces in our hand. Gonna go Juramon on the other side. Gonna leave the Raiji open to be swung over. He's not gonna want to have 2, so he's just gonna immediately swing, get that started, and then go for the Analog Youth. If he does lose his stack, he's gonna be gaining some serious memory back off of that, and of course get the egg pushed out. Gonna go for a Nagudimon in the back. That said though, since he does have the egg already hatched, he's not going to be gaining as much value off of the Analog Youth. Juramon, or Durandamon, you'd have to call the target first, so instead this time we're going to go with the EX Antibody in order to proc its once per turn, plus 3k and security attack plus 1. Then go for the swing in order to delete the body and play a card out. We're going to play the Raiji Ludamon, which normally would proc the Sakutomon inherit, which would give us back the 2 memory, but missed it this time, and the Analog Youths on deletion going to take the turn over to our player on the left. Red Hybrid now in control, 2 memory to play with, which is enough to warp Digivolve in to Ancient Greymon to blitz past the rest of our security. The only blocker stack that we do have is the Durandamon, and it's rested, so it's a free swing at security or a free swing for board control. Gonna go for Gravity Crush to push to 4. We're gonna go up to Oldemon for 3. He does get the plus 4k when Digivolving, which does mean he'll be able to swing over the Durandamon here. At the end of his turn, he's gonna be giving up 2 memory anyway. Gonna swing and take down the Durandamon. Also get the piercing check, which shows off the Izzy top 3 all black, so we're gonna gain back some memory. And then we're going to get to put the Digimon back on the top of our deck in any order. Just going to keep the order that we got. Searcher at the top, second Ludamon, and then the Bryway. And he's going to Digivolve for 5, which is going to pass us all the way up to 7, thanks to Gravity Crush giving us the extra memory. Might as well. The Izzy was going to put us to 3 anyway. Alright. Now that we have a Tamer, we can use the Digivolve plugin in order to get some draw power. Sure, we're not getting the Digivolution cost really for free all that much, but draw power is draw power. Got the Ragnaloardmon paying its regular cost. Not the most memory efficient, but the hand size is swelling nice and quickly. And we do still have the magic numbers in order to get the Veemon to come out for 5. And then restand the Ancient Greymon. When doing so, there's 3 standing Digimon, which gives back the memory. And we can go into the Durandamon, which will keep the turn. End of turn. Trash the top card off his security. And we would go into the DNA Ragnaloardmon, but it is AWOL in hand. It's the old Ragnalord. Definitely saw the Ragnalord in hand and thought it was the starter deck one. We're setting up for that whole play, only for it to come crashing down at the end. 1 security left. Lucky for us, no red hybrids. But even if he does, as long as he has a Takuya and Emperor Greymon in hand, he does have game here. Instead, wants to go over the Analog Boy, but it is a white Tamer rather than red, so can't Digivolve over it, unfortunately. I'm going to Digivolve up in the back, try and get some cycle going. Obviously wants to do this without losing any memory. We are going to go up to Gunimon in the back. The cycle hasn't paid off. He's going to swing at security, take out the Duramon, and now he's left in the situation where he has to find a way through. Gaia Force is going to come down for 8. Getting to pick which body he wants to get rid of. Both good targets. But the Durandamon, probably a better target, in all honesty. Gonna use the X Antibody in order to proc the Inherit once again, which is going to push up to 14 plus 1 security. And then Ragnaloardmon comes down for 3, but refunds the memory by placing a Bryway underneath. Doing so gives us the ability to remove the security effects of option cards, so the Crimson Blaze isn't going to get rid of the Ludomon, allowing it to swing for game, making it a 2-0 for Ragnaloardmon. Hope you guys enjoyed the first look at the deck on the channel. We'll be back with more games coming on the other side of a few days. Don't go too far.